I like what you both said, but particularly what you said just now, which is what Samson was summarizing, is that paying attention is funny, isn't it? Because like we're in a climate now where like money means so much, and we work hard to accumulate as much money as we possibly can for different reasons, and we probably kind of share the same rhetoric. We're doing this for our family, you know. Rappers always say they're doing it for the mums, like, you know. But you've always got those kind of like rhetorics that we spew quite regularly. And the funny thing is, accepting that they had different challenges, but parents work extremely hard, and the one thing that they don't do, which is completely free, is to give attention. Like, and I think that is potentially so damaging, because, like you said, for any child, I don't want you to buy me that brand new Nike Jordan trainers.
I've got a funny story about that.
That cost £250 because when I go to school, I'm going to scuff them up same way I would with the Reebok ones. You're going to be livid, but they're just trainers to me, you know. And you're probably a teenager before you actually really start caring about like brands and stuff like that.
So really knowing what it is.
Yeah, so like if for instance I really want to go to a football match on a Saturday, for instance, and I don't know, you kind of compare it to the fact that actually that's not that important. Look at all the stuff that I've done for you when you wanted to go to these games, or when you wanted to do that. Like, look at what I've done for you. And I'm looking at it like, yeah, but I didn't care about that. Like, you never asked me, do I want this Louis Vuitton bag?
Yeah.
My dad never bought me a Louis Vuitton bag, by the way. But you know, like, you never asked me if you wanted this tracksuit or whatever. Like, you just got it for me, or you just bought me those presents. Like, but the things I really cared about, you didn't kind of show an interest in, you know. And like you were saying, those conversations happen, unfortunately, when you get older, and you're kind of like old enough and maybe more emotionally resilient enough to kind of have those difficult conversations, to be like, when I needed you to kind of be there for me in this particular event, or when I had a football match, or when it was my 10th birthday, like, you not showing up, or you not kind of acting like you cared about that to me was more detrimental than anything else.
But you know, the crazy bit is, going back to your question, you asked what does a good dad look like. They thought they was ticking their boxes.
One thing about parents as well, when you grow up and you become a parent, you kind of forget when you were a child and what you wanted when you were a child. So you start adding your own, oh, I'm good, I think I should do this and this, and what you think is good parenting versus... And children are very intelligent. They'll tell you, you know, they or if you just kind of watch them, you can kind of see what they need or what they want. Do you know what I mean? And for the most, again, the currency is attention, right? like if my son's crying, or he just wants me to just pick him up or just play with him or tickle him or something, right? And it just makes him feel better. Yeah, that's the currency. Whereas if you're an adult and you're crying, you probably lost your job. Okay, you need some money, right? That's your currency, right? Or do you know what I mean? Or it could be attention as well. But you tend to kind of make these things up versus like, okay, when I was a child, how was I? You forget, because it just seems such a distant thing. Like, oh, I'm an adult now. I'm doing the right thing. These are the things that as an adult I've learned to do. And yes, if I do these, then my child is okay. And sometimes it's not even true. Like, even the funny you're saying about the clothes. I was taking my son to nursery one time, and there's one of the nursery workers she works at. She brings her grandson to the nursery. This guy was wearing he's like 3 years old. He's wearing a North Face jacket and Jordan 1s. And it looked cool, of course, and then there's some nice jeans, right? I'm like, okay, to nursery though? That's a bit mad. Yeah. Maybe a birthday party could wear that. My son was wearing some Marvel trainers with all the Marvel heroes on it. Next day when I went in the morning, she's like, you're costing me money, you know? And I'm like, what's happening? She's like, yeah, my grandson said he wants the Marvel trainers. So now I got to go run up Asda and buy the Marvel trainers. And exactly what you were saying, like, you're not buying those clothes necessarily for the kids. I mean, you're buying it because North Face is cool, innit? There's nothing wrong with putting your son in North Face or Jordan
good brand, good quality.
Yeah, he looked cool. Do you know what I mean? But maybe not to nursery. He's gonna scuff it up.
They're gonna jump in the sandbox.
Yeah, exactly. Like, birthday party, yeah, cool. And I was just laughing. I was like, yeah, man, just buy the Marvel, innit? Wear the Marvel. That's what they think is cool, because they know Marvel, innit? They watch Marvel movies and cartoons and all this kind of stuff. And again, it's the parents thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna put what I know to be cool on my kid. When the kid thinks Marvel is cool or Disney is cool. Like, now my son thinks Marvel is cool. He don't want to wear the Mickey Mouse jean jacket that he got him. He's like, is that the Mickey Mouse one? I don't want to wear that because you don't think that's cool. Do you know what I mean? But imagine if I'm forcing Dolce & Gabbana on him, because I know that's cool. That's cool to people my age. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, again, you paying attention to what your kids actually like versus what you think will be
about you.
good for them. And this is not to say that you leave them to lead themselves, because no, you can't. They can't raise themselves. They can't raise themselves. But obviously, you keep them within. Do you know what I mean? And lead them based on kind of what they like, but as well as knowing the best way to kind of keep them contained and say, no, okay, do that, but don't do this kind of thing.
Yeah.